I'd like to welcome you to the day after Easter. And to our Ukrainian friends, this is their Holy Week, and their Easter is next Sunday, but it's good to be with you. A couple of people mentioned, Don, the day after Easter must be kind of a letdown. And I say, no, not at all. Because I walk in here this morning and the place is a little cluttered. The flowers are kind of disorganized. There's stuff on the carpet, bulletins all over the place, reminding me of the spirit that was inside this room yesterday and the spirit that is generated by those of you who watch us and are not here. Because to me, the real Easter starts kind of when we leave the church. When we go out into our Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday world and somehow try to take the message of new life and hope and resurrection into the stuff that we got to do every day, which is not always easy. But, you know, it was just a blessing to be here yesterday and to watch some of the comments from those of you that watched us from afar. Because it's that spirit and that hope that has got us through the past 2+ years. And hopefully will continue to help us grow and to get strong and to just capture that spirit. One of you sent me these words this week. Actually, Nancy Ellis sent me the words. They are not her words. And they are this. Hard times are put in our way, not to stop us, but to call out our courage and our strength. It's appropriate that Nancy would send those words because she has a son, Josh, who passed away recently. And he lived with a very rare form of muscular dystrophy. I can't even pronounce it. And to watch her and her husband, Tom, to just the way they stood by Josh and cared for him, and just the inner strength that Josh had to live into his 40s with this disease, it was just inspiring. And Josh he never complained. Nancy and Tom never complained. They just lived in the midst of this journey with a kind of quiet power and strength that touched a lot of people. And I also think about our Ukrainian brothers and sisters and all they are going through and the incredible devastation. And wow, talk about obstacles and talk about courage and talk about strength. How they do it, and it's just hard to watch. I saw a quote from the Kremlin, from Russia, that just went right through my guts. Because I guess they said to the people in Ukraine, the one city that is almost gone, they said, surrender or you will be eliminated. Those are incredibly cruel words. Surrender or you will be eliminated. I tell you, if somebody told me to surrender or to be eliminated, I don't know what I'd do. I would fight back. And I was thinking of the people of Ukraine. There's no way they will ever surrender. I mean, you can take away a city, you can take away their lives, you can take away their livelihood, you can take away their churches, their businesses, but they will not surrender. And they will not be eliminated. Because no matter how much they lose, that spirit that makes them who they are will always be in the air. And I'm sure part of that spirit affects us too. And I was thinking of Josh, Nancy Ellis' son. I tell you, Josh never surrendered until the very last breath he took. He fought to stay alive, but more than that, he had a quiet courage and grace about him that was incredibly contagious. And everybody that knew him, especially his family, and even people like me, outsiders looking in, who were just a small part of his journey. I mean, Josh would never surrender. Nancy and Tom would never surrender. And even though he's gone, his spirit, his grace, his courage, they're always going to be in the air. And that's kind of what the resurrection is all about. It's kind of part of our Easter story. Because when Jesus was crucified, those that wanted him gone, they wanted to eliminate him. They wanted Jesus to be gone because he had such a quiet following. He had such a grace and courage that was infectious, and they thought by his death he'd be gone, and he wasn't. Because Jesus would never surrender. He committed himself to God's Spirit. But Jesus, once he was gone, my gosh, he was nothing but eliminated, because his Spirit graces us today. Here 2,000 years later, we're talking about him, and we want to walk in his sandals and in his Spirit. Yes, it was a great Easter, but Easter is not just a holiday. Easter is a spirit. It's a way of living. It's a way of giving. So to Josh and to Nancy and Tom and to our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, thanks for your courage and grace, because you are not alone. And hopefully your journey and your strength makes people like us who don't go through anything close to what you're going through, it makes us stronger. And hopefully we'll take that spirit, and when we walk out of the door of the church, we'll somehow make it come alive in the stuff that we do every day. I want to wish you a very blessed Monday after Easter. It's really good to talk to you, and I look forward to seeing you or hearing you or looking at you again on Wednesday. Thanks. Thank you, Doug.